Tip 1. Make full use of the landscape. Use the natural cover and shade when you hunt on the move. It's a great way to hide your outline and help you camouflage clothing works to its optimum. Tip 2. Correct footwear. Wear light lace-up boots or even an old pair of trainers when stalking rabbits. Your footfalls will be a lot lighter than in an old pair of wellies. An important consideration as rabbits have excellent hearing and are able to detect vibrations through the ground. Tip 3. Ambush. If stalking tactics fail to get you close enough to your wary quarry, opt for an ambush and hunker down instead. A static approach demands patience, but it does away with virtually all the movement and noise associated with stalking. Rabbits have excellent hearing and are able to detect vibrations through the ground. Your quarry have exceptional eyesight, which will also alert them to your presence. An hide or an ambush point is perfect for concealment. Tip 4. Incorporate your hide. If you are building a hide, try to incorporate it into a background of natural cover. It makes your hide look like an extension of the existing landscape. Tip 5. Conceal your hide. Dress your hide with vegetation when targeting sharp-eyed corvids. A few branches and leaves will really help take the edges off the hide. You can use an existing building that your quarry is familiar with, and it'll pay dividends in the end. Tip 6. Plan out your route. Plan out your stalking routes so that you can keep the wind in your face. The breeze will help you to carry your human scent away from the twitching noses of your wary quarry. Tip 7. Use a support. Forgetting to bring your bipod doesn't mean you can't enjoy the luxury of a rested shot when ambushing quarry from the prone position. Make use of natural features like fence posts, branches or tree trunks. Tip 8. Know your ranges. Use your laser rangefinder to ping the distance to markers such as fence posts, trees and gates as soon as you get in position, or pace them out by foot if you don't have a rangefinder. You can then use these reference points to eliminate the range to your quarry. Tip 9. Food and drink. Remember to take food and drink with you on your hunting forays. Hydration and sustenance will keep you sharp and stop you from cutting the session short and heading home after being struck by pangs of hunger and thirst. When the weather turns cold, pack a flask of hot soup to keep out the winter chill. Tip 10. Decoys. Add a decoy to the arrangement when using bait such as a dead rabbit or squirrel to attract corvids within range. The decoy intruder will grab the attention of passing birds and will also create an element of competition that should make them more confident. Tip 11. Time is of the essence with pigeons. Strike quickly when you spot wood pigeons targeting crops on your permissions. These birds have a habit of quickly deserting feeding grounds when new food sources show up. Tip 12. Plan your forays. Don't be in too much of a hurry when you get there though. Pigeons stick to clearly defined flight lines as they flit in and out of fields and are reluctant to move away from them. A few minutes from reconnaissance should reveal an incoming flight line. Get your decoys properly set up underneath it as you should be in for some busy shooting. Tip 13. Place your decoys correctly. Birds like to land and take off with the wind in their face, so set up your decoys facing roughly into the breeze to make them look natural. Don't be afraid to tilt a few off at slightly different angles and mix up the spacing between them a little. It'll add to the realism when viewed from above. Tip 14. Reposition your shot birds. When decoying pigeons, it's worth breaking cover to retrieve shot birds if they land on their back. Nothing spooks incoming birds more than seeing a comrade belly up. Turn them the right way up and add them to the decoy pattern using a stick or some stiff wire to prop up their heads. Real birds make for extremely effective decoys. Tip 15. Cover up. Even when shooting from a hide, it's often worth wearing a head net and gloves when setting your sights on wary quarry. The hat and gloves will hide telltale flashes of pale skin that can still blow your cover if spotted through the cover of a hide. They will also keep the midges at bay. Here's a few examples of how I cover up my hands, my face and my head, even when shooting from an hide. Tip 16. A torch is essential. Don't forget to take a torch with you when you're using high-tech night vision gear. It's very handy for finding your way around in complete darkness, especially when it comes to picking up shot quarry. There are many torches on the market. They're affordable, quality and at a reasonable price. Tip 17. Arrive early. If you're shooting wood pigeons at roost, try to get into position a couple of hours before dusk. It should prevent you from putting the birds on edge by sending any early arrivals clattering away from the treetops. Tip 18. Sit tight. Stay in position until night has closed right in when targeting roosting crows. These birds fly into the roost very late, much later than woodies, and you will miss the best of the action if you head for home as soon as the pigeons stop flighting in. Tip 19. Move with purpose. If you're right-handed, try to move in an anti-clockwise direction as you creep around the outside of barns, sheds and farmyard machinery. Your rifle will be on the outside as you peep around corners, enabling you to mount up without having to step out from cover when you spot your quarry. Simply reverse the process and stalk round in a clockwise direction if you are left-handed. Tip 20. Correct bait. When shooting rats, use a liquid bait to make them stop in their tracks. These skittish rodents have a habit of grabbing mouthfuls of food, then darting back into cover. But they can't do that if they have to stop and lap up your offering. Liquidized cat food works brilliantly. Rats can't resist its fishy aroma. Tip 21. Be thankful. Having permission to shoot around farmyards, fields or woodland is a real privilege, so never take it for granted. Respect the landowner's wishes at all times and do your best to deliver the effective and responsible pest control service you offered them. If you don't, somebody else will. Permissions are hard to gain, but easy to lose. Tip 22. Watch Corvidant on YouTube. Every few weeks, my YouTube channel brings you the in-the-field action full of hints and tips covering a wide range of hunting scenarios to help you stay at the very top of your fieldcraft game. Tip 23. Seek out food sources. Identify food sources such as silage clamps, troughs and grain stores on farmyard permissions. They're real quarry hotspots. Closer investigations could reveal signs such as rat, crow and pigeon droppings. Set up nearby and you should be able to ambush the feeding thieves. Tip 24. Set up a feeder. Make your own feeder. Attach it to a tree about 5 foot off the ground and fill it with wheat to create a grey squirrel feeding station. This is by far the most effective way to draw in these notorious woodland pests down from their treetop hiding places and into the open, especially during winter when natural food is scarce. Tip 25. Know your trees. Focus your efforts around oak, beech, sweet chestnut and hazel trees when controlling grey squirrels during the late summer and early autumn. The nuts and seeds from these trees are real favourites with the bushy tails, and they'll be busy foraging and caching the rich bounty in readiness for the rough, tough winter months that lie ahead. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful and educational, and I'll see you next time.